All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem Kakadash. I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the Shah and this push for the truth, throughout the four corners of the earth. I want to say Shalom to you brothers and keep pushing. And a double Shalom to Israelites look like the other nations and the sincere Wathium. I want to say Shalom to your brothers and sisters as well. My name is Dawad, and I'm coming back at it with another video. And I'm just going to get into this article that I looked at the title. So it says, do you realize now what you have done? U.S. gets to counter democracy it championed overseas. Right. So that's basically a shot at the United States of America. You know, and this dude right here is a Siberian. I believe that's somewhere over there in the Middle East. It says, Nebobsta Malik is a Siberian American journalist, blogger, and translator who wrote a regular column for antiwar.com from 2000 to 2015 and is now a senior writer at RT. Follow him at Twitter. So this was yesterday, January 6th, 2021, which the Apostle Tahar deemed this year the hastening to the coming of the Lord. A protester was seen hanging from the balcony in the Senate chamber on January 6, 2021 in Washington, D.C. And it says, because we already know what happened. The White House got sacked by all these Trump supporters because they upset about the transition of power from Trump to Biden. All right. It says a crowd of protesters stormed Congress protesting a presidential election they claim have been fraudulent. When this happened in Siberia in 2000, the U.S. called it democracy. When it happened in Washington, not so much. Right. And I was, at that time, I was 5 years old. I was 5 years old in the year 2000. And that's spiritual that they mentioned that because, back in the One West, that was the doctrine that they was teaching. The Yahweh Shah was going to come back before the year 2000. And when 2000 came in, he didn't come back. But that was all prophecy in itself. It says you will begin to, or roughly paraphrasing, to see the coming of the Lord, but you shall not see it. All right? Because if the Lord came, I would have probably got destroyed. Because a lot of us, we still had to wake up and come to this truth. It says, seen from the U.S. Capitol on Wednesday as protesters backing President Donald Trump disrupt the joint session of Congress, meeting to certify the election of Democrat Joe Biden. Look, very much like Belgrade in October 2000. Right, so now these other countries, they laughing at you. They say, hey, y'all getting a taste of y'all own medicine. It says, the site was later repeated in Ukraine twice in 2004 and 2014. Georgia, Moldova, Belarus, and several Central Asian former Soviet republics. On every occasion, the U.S. backed the people power because America, NGOs, and embassies were supporting what became known as color revolutions. Said same thing happened in 2011 when the Arab Spring that started in Tunisia and then burned its way across North Africa to the Persian Gulf. In some places, it succeeded, overthrowing decades-old governments. In others, it failed, setting off wars in Liberia and Syria and blood on the streets of Bahrain. Again, the U.S. cheered this on as democracy, except for Bahrain, which hosts a major naval base. More recently, the U.S. denounced as illegitimate the presidential elections in Belarus, Bolivia, and Venezuela, while Minsk and Caracas managed to resist and got sanctioned for it. The Democrats in La Paz were successful for a while, but ended up losing the vote last year. Says, way back in 2004, The Guardian wrote approving about how the U.S. has created a slick operation of engineering democracy through the ballot box and civil disobedience. Wow. Developed since Belgrade, a template for winning other people's elections. And, hey, they're basically exposing just how America works. All right. So now the same mainstream media that slavishly followed the State Department line and denounced an election elsewhere as rigged and colored revolutions as spontaneous democracy are clutching their pearls when Americans who believe the election was stolen take to the streets and storm their capital. It says in other nations, when demonstrators urged by a cornered president try to take over the Capitol building, it's called a coup, nothing else. But this election wasn't stolen, they say. It was pure as driven snow. Most secure ever. All the experts who told us for 4 years the previous one was hacked by Russia tell us so, and Joe Biden won the most votes in history while hardly leaving his basement. Whether you believe this narrative, this official narrative about the U.S. election or not, doesn't really matter. However, partisan myopia simply won't let the people understand the magnitude of what's on display here. Utter moral bankruptcy of the entire U.S. political and media establishment. Wow. You know, is says Republicans and Democrats alike use color revolutions as a political weapon for years, preaching democracy even as their AstroTurf coup snuffed out any vestiges. But hey, I'm not finna read it. I'm not finna read it all. And, I'm just going to get to the point. Hey, yeah. So these other nations, hey, they laughing at you Americans. They mocking you. All right. So this is Revelation 11:14. The second woe was past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. And the seven angels sounded, and there were great voices in heaven saying, the kingdoms of this world are become the kingdoms of our Lord and of his anointed, and he shall reign forever and ever. Right. So, cause right now, we in the midst of World War III, because you got these Iranians that's plotting an attack, and you got these Chinese that's plotting on the United States of America. See, like right here it says, as U.S. confirms its descent into chaos and depravity, emboldened China looks on with growing confidence. Right, because these Moabites, they think that they're going to be next ruling up, but I got a news flash for you. Moab, you're not. Because as far as the prophecy states, says Jacob is Salakia. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Because Esau has to be ruling in the last days, and it's symbolic, because we're going to pull him out of power. And how are we doing that? We're doing that through this truth, through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shemiah Shah. All right? Back in, that was it. So, yeah, so we basically witnessing a translation of power. So this is 2nd Esdras 6 and 9. Matter of fact, I'm going to start at 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the part of the son of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Right. And that's symbolic, like I said, because we pulling Esau out of power right now through this truth, because his kingdom is done. Obviously, if you can't see that this kingdom is done, you super blind. It says events in Washington will have repercussions around the world, not at least in Beijing, where China's leaders can paint the country as a bastion of stability compared to the basket case that America has become. Yeah. And they see, it's just all order, all turmoil and tribulation up in this place. All right. The world has been left utterly aghast at the scenes from the United States Capitol building on Wednesday night as a mob of President Trump's supporters invaded and caused chaos, leaving 4 dead. Although the election result was still certified as scheduled, the events have sent shockwaves through America's political system and illustrate the bitter divides and resentments at hand. Joe Biden will become president on January 20th, but the ill feeling and discontent are bound to linger much longer, right? Because you still got 2 more weeks left. Today is the 7th. That's exactly 14 days till, it's lucky, 13 days, less than 2 weeks till his inauguration. Says, in the meantime, what is the view from Beijing? This catastrophic comes as the Trump administration has, in its dying days, sought to dramatically escalate tensions against it by taking aim at more leading Chinese companies. The White House wants its ultimate legacy to be a state of geopolitical confrontation with China akin to a new Cold War. But is Beijing worried? Not likely. Despite everything Trump has attempted to do, people are more likely to consider that the scenes on Capitol Hill and the chaos which the president has created are an absolute gift to Xi Jinping. Says, seeing America's plight in both the pandemic and politics has a fact increasing emboldened China's own confidence in the system of governance, and it can hardly feel inferior to America no more. Right. Because now all you these countries is laughing at you Americans, you know. They even comparing what y'all going through to what they faced decades back. All right. This is second Esdras 15. And matter of fact, I'm gonna start at 5. It says, behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole world, the whole earth, and our hurtful works are fulfilled. Right. So it says, wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole world. Look what's going on in the streets of America. All right, all type of confusion. All right, out of order women, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to get my channel straight. So therefore said the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching the wickedness which they profanely commit, neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood cried unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually. Right, and so who is that? That's the elect. We complaining continually to the Lord, and asking him to destroy this place so we can finally be at rest, because this place is not our rest. Brothers going through all type of stuff. We're dealing with our families on a day-to-day basis, our jobs, our own bodies, our mental health, et cetera, et cetera. This it's like a hell within a hell, because your own body is a hell. Verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword of destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. Right, and that's what you see now. 4 people got killed yesterday doing that attack on Capitol Hill. For there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and their course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right, so we in the pandemic and it's in the civil unrest. A man shall desire to go into the city and should not be able. Right, because they finna call the National Guard to D.C. All right, because hey, still got 2 more weeks left. 2 more weeks. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. Joel, the 3rd chapter says, Joel 3:11, assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Yahweh-Shaphat, for there will I sit and judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow. For their wickedness is great. Multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision. For the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Right. So that's what the Lord is doing. He putting the spirit on you heathens to say, hey, I'm strong. All right, because this World War is still gonna happen. You know, because they looking at you Americans like, all right, hey, y'all weak. You know, so now it's time for us to attack you. All right, the sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. All right, and that's the signs in the heavens, lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, etc., etc. Those are all signs to the coming of the day of the Lord. It's Daniel 7:18. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. All right, so we're going to possess the kingdom. All right, forever and ever. Because when we go back into power and this go around, hey, we never going to fall again because Israel going to be perfect. You know, that's the new covenant. The Lord is going to put the laws into our inward part. So we're not going to sin, meaning so we're not going to get punished. No sin means no punishment. It says, yeah, I read this part. It says, America's response to COVID-19 has also hammered this home. Although the U.S. has aggressively and repeatedly blamed China for the global pandemic, Beijing has successfully overcome COVID-19 and returned to a full-scale economic growth, while Trump's own response has been an unprecedented disaster. China sees how more than 250,000 people in America have died, with up to 4,000 more new deaths, over 200,000 new cases every day, with Beijing tough lockdown and extreme testing regimens have upheld normality. They see the U.S. in a state of depravity. Right. Hey, that's prophecy. Right? And which we already know, why this is happening. So I'm going to end it off with this. This is Revelation 18:9. Matter of fact, we'll start at 8. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day. I was talking about Babylon the Great. And mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and to live deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. Right? Standing far off for fear of her torment, saying, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Right? So the judgment going to come upon this place. All right? Judgment is here. We in the beginning stages. So why are you Israelite camp saying it ain't going to be no Jacob's trouble? We already in Jacob's trouble. All right? We already in Jacob's trouble. So, hey, it's clear as day who the true men of the Lord are. Because, hey, we've been telling you this for the longest. Jeremiah 30:7. The last for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Right? So the elect, man, man, woman, and child, when we saved up out of this turmoil. All right? Because, hey, it's here. And ain't no turning back now. So with that, I want to say all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shai. I hope this edifying. Shalom.